Voila! Your dream vacation to Turkey starts from rupees 79,999 only with GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand.
I might forgive, but I never forget. This film all started in my college canteen. I'm from Mitibai College, and we were in the canteen, and I had gotten offered this film. I had already said no to quite a number of films at that time I was offered. Because
Name them.
Name them?
Name them.
Okay, today I'll name. There was a film called Jungle with Sanjay Dutt. There was a film called Fateh, again with Sanjay Dutt. There was another film with Chunky Pandey and Pehlaj Nihalani ji. We must have squabbled or something, and they tied us up on the pillar, Raji and Aamir and Salman, and Lolo and me weren't talking to each other here. And then they shot the scene, and then Raji said, "Chalo, lunch break, everybody go for lunch." We said, "But hello, open us up." They said, "No, we won't open you all up till you all don't end up talking to each other." And they left us there, particularly for these rain songs. They don't give you geyser ka heated pani. You get that tanker ka thanda pani. It's like really freezing cold. There were stones and those kilas and all on the floor. And so if you notice my entry in this, I'm kind of sliding in on my knees and stuff. So I had like bleeding knees and bleeding ankles, and I had to take a tetanus shot because I got one of those rusted nails in my foot.
Not many people know that you've actually not done one but 3 films, out of which 2 are unfinished.
Unfortunately, Jaadu had amazing music, and but the director passed away, so the film shut down. And then he and I had even signed English Babu Desi Mem, but somehow I didn't agree to the costumes in that film, so it didn't work out for me.
Let me tell you a story. We should begin with a story always. I'm from Calcutta, and I was in Calcutta. I was writing for Telegraph in schools, and I used to do telephonic interviews. And I remember ma'am was traveling, Raveena ma'am was traveling to Calcutta, and I was supposed to interview her, and I had done it over the call. And then when she came, that time X was still Twitter, and there was no Instagram. I tweeted to her and I said that I would love to meet you, and then she called me and told me that, oh, it's the same person. Ever since then, this is I think 14 years ago, 13 to 14 years ago, she has always been the same to me. Without further ado, welcoming on stage somebody who's managed to stay relevant for 30 years and will stay relevant for the next 50, Raveena Tandon. We planned a lot of fun stuff for you. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us. Thank you for being yourself. Thank you for all the things that you do for me.
Thank you for having me here. And I have to say that this, honestly, how many of y'all are actually from Thadumal and National College here? Whoa. Okay, so just to tell y'all that many years ago when I got married, I was actually your neighbor, and I every time visit this college, especially for elections and when the polling happens. And just to tell y'all also that my husband is from your college. So I'm very happy that I'm amongst y'all right now, and I got lucky with National College and Thadumal College. So I guess you guys are all my lucky mascots. So thank you all of you here and up there. Upar walo. Let's hear some noise. Upar walo. There, my God. Listen, उन लोग बराबरी में कम है लेकिन आवाज ज़्यादा बुलंद है. ऐसे क्यों? Come on, let's hear some noise for Nayandeep.
मैंने खुद ही चिल्ला लिया अपने लिए. But thank you so much. Thank you so much for doing this. There's a lot of fun stuff planned, guys, and I hope you enjoy the entire conversation. We are going to take you through your entire journey and relive memories that are moments, that are built with moments. Because आपके ज़माने में तब तो social media नहीं था, and I think it was a world which was built on attachment.
Much more peaceful.
Yeah. मुझे टबू मैम ने एक बार कहा था कि तब के ज़माने में पैपराज़ी कल्चर नहीं होता था, हम लोग तो तेल लगा के मस्त चले जाते थे एयरपोर्ट. डू यू मिस दैट?
No. I do miss the freedom of just being in your comfortable tracks and going anywhere. But I always have had this thing that I always end up being presentable anywhere. But मैं तभी भी track pants पहन के airport जाती थी और अभी भी track pants पहन के airport जाती हूँ. तो इतना मेरे लिए I think I believe that you don't have to change for anyone or anything out there. Just be yourself, and that's what matters.
That's true. And you've always been your own person.
Yes.
तो मुझे ये जानना है, you know, in the 90s, oh my God, there have been so many moments, right? I want to know, are you the person who forgives and forgets? Or are you the person who bottles it within and then one day blasts?
So first thing, I might forgive, but I never forget. Sorry. I am very human there. Nobody is perfect. I mean, then what difference would be between saints and gods and us, right? But nonetheless, I forgive, I'll move on, but I'll never forget. And bottling feelings, no, I don't believe in that. I believe in direct communication. I believe it's important to convey your feelings, not to bottle them up, because bottling them up, I believe they become even more toxic and more negative. So communication between friends, between partners, between parents and children, between, it could be siblings, is very, very important, because that is what will not let you fester the wound. It heals wounds faster.
That's true. You know, 90s में मतलब ज़माना ऐसा था जहाँ पे दोस्ती बहुत अच्छी होती थी और दुश्मनी अगर होती तो हर टाइम वो magazines का ज़माना था, and all the actors have read some of the worst pieces about themselves in those magazines. Did you dread reading those magazines every month when it used to come out, and what was the worst thing that you had to go through? Because you never wanted to become an actor. How did you prepare yourself for this kind of negativity, and not trolling but sophisticated trolling back then?
So I guess you have what you have in today's day and age is called trolling. And in those days, we had magazine journalists. So those were the worst trolls that, real living trolls amongst you. They would pretend to be your friends, but unfortunately, every time a nasty article would come out, they'd say, oh, but I didn't write it, someone else wrote it. But nonetheless, I think social media today is a boon if you use it well, and so is artificial intelligence. So if anything used in excess or used in the wrong format can be bad for you. So whether it's artificial intelligence, today we are talking in the world, we are living in the world of deep fakes, etc., where a lot of you guys also viral videos, things that you don't want to go out. Sometimes that does happen, but it's very important to keep your privacy. It's very important also not to constantly document your life on Instagram. For me, I as a person, when I am in a certain place, I never Insta story it or Instagram it. After I've left the place and 5 days later, I'll say, oh, I was here and I did this. And that's a smarter thing, especially for you girls, because anyone can stalk you otherwise where you are. So security reasons, please hold your privacy very close to you. And even the guys these days, y'all are equally endangered these days. So it's all, it's many people falling in love with boys and girls all over. So be careful. But nonetheless, coming to the fact that in those days, it was very difficult to get the truth out. Nandip, you've been there, yeah? And you've been such a close friend now for so many years. And the fact being that they would just refuse to change a headline, any gossip that they heard, and that would be out in print. In those days, we did not have social media, so why it was a boon today, if the same thing would happen to us, we can immediately clarify on Twitter or on Instagram and put out the truth for you guys to read instantly, or people who are following us to read instantly. But in those days, how much ever you brought out the truth, it was all in the hands of the editors or the journalists, because once it's printed, you cannot pull it back. And even if you do a court case against them, go the legal way, it would not happen. So it was a very helpless situation. So that's why I think social media can be a boon and can be a bane. So it depends on how you prefer to use it.
You know, some of your co-stars have actually, not on record, but off record, they've always said that when there were some of the male co-stars who've actually gone inside those magazine offices and really created a storm. Has there ever been a moment where you got really bothered and you picked up the phone and you really, really sunowed one of the journalists who actually pretended to be maybe your friend and published something which is
Yes, of
bad?
course that does happen, because you do believe that, and especially when I have been the kind of person who's always fought for the truth. If there is something that is wrong and there's a mistake that has happened, I even have the guts to stand up and say, listen, I'm sorry. I'm human. I made a mistake. I want to move on and you help me move on. But I don't think it makes me lesser as a person if I apologize for something that I have done wrong. Yeah. But if I have not done it, and there is lies and malicious lies being spread, then I will fight tooth and nail till the end for it. Because then I want to stand up for what is correct. But if I've wronged someone and if I have made a mistake, I am big enough even to stand up and say, listen guys, it was a mistake and I'm sorry. Yeah. This happened. Now I'll move on. And that does happen.
Now it doesn't happen so much, like you said.
I still make lots of mistakes.
Okay, so what we have planned is basically like we'll take this conversation in the form of memories, like I told you. So there are certain things that we are going to take you back to, and we'll also look back. I don't know how many people will actually know some of the insights that I possibly would have, because I am a 90s kid. For me, 90s films, 90s actors especially are an emotion for me, and I will always fight a battle within for them, and that's always been the case. So working on this was very, very, it was a lot of fun. So we'll start off with the first memory picture that we have, and then we'll speak about that.
Oh God.
This is your first film.
Horrible. I'm looking so horrible. Okay. Yeah, this was my first film I started off with. And coincidentally, to tell you all that this film all started in my college canteen. I'm from Mitibai College. And we were in the canteen and I had gotten offered this film. I was in my FIJC. And I was sitting with all my friends, and Maine Pyar Kiya had just released, which was the biggest thing. So Salman Khan was one of the biggest heartthrobs then, the new youngie heartthrob. And I had already said no to quite a number of films at that time I was offered.
Name them.
Name them?
Name them.
Okay, today I'll name. There was a film called Jungle with Sanjay Dutt. There was a film called Fateh, again with Sanjay Dutt. There was another film with Chunky Pandey and Pehlaj Nihalani ji. I don't remember the name. There was another film called, it was with Lucky Ali or Binju Ali. I don't remember. I think Lucky Ali probably. And then there was Heer Ranjha, which was made by H.S. Ravel Saab. So these were all the films that I had been offered, which I actually said no to. And unfortunately at that time what had happened, I was not ready for movies. Even Phool Aur Kaante was offered to me at that time, but I was not, I never thought, I would never look at myself in the mirror and say, oh, I'm cut out for the movies. I was always like, oh my God, really? I mean, why am I getting offered these films? I'm just someone who's going to college. But nonetheless, I said no to these films, and I wish I'd done all of them if I had to do movies only. But when Salman's film came, actually it was more for my friends in the canteen. All the girls went, are you serious? You've got a film with Salman Khan. You better say yes, say it only for us. And then after that, you don't want to do movies, don't do it. But you say yes now, we'll come for your shooting, we'll all meet Salman Khan, we'll chill with him, we'll party with him, and then after that you leave the industry. So I said, okay, that sounds like a plan. And that was the last plan that I ever made. Because after that, I just kept signing films and it kind of just happened. So yeah, that was it.
And thank God for that. Because some accidents are great, I feel. So, you come from your father was a very, very reputed person and a producer. And you come from a filmy background, but you never really wanted to get into films. But I have a picture for you, which I want to show you. And then there's a surprise for you as well.
That's so cute.
This is which film?
Why did you have to put a toothless picture of mine?
Your childhood pictures are not there.
Yeah.
And I couldn't have asked you because then you would know.
Okay, yeah, that's cute. So that's this picture is during Filmfare Awards, the one on the right. That one I don't know, but yes, that's my dad. And that's Amit ji, and that's my mom on the side, and Simi ji is sitting behind my dad. That's all I recognize, yeah. Yeah, and Simi ji looks the same. How does Simi ji look the same? It's
I
like,
think there will be a segment where people will say the same to you. There are comments that we are going to read
I'm
out
a
soon.
vampire.
Woo! We all want to be, don't we? Don't we want to just stop? But I want to ask you about this picture. You know, family has always played a very, very, very important role in not just your career and your life, but in shaping your personality. Like I always say that I'm a lot like my mother, and I'm very proud of that. Like if there's something that I'm extremely proud of is the upbringing that I've had. And I've always spoken to you, and I know.
That's why you and I get along so well.
Exactly. And you've also been like that, you know. And what were their influences on you in terms of how you were as a person when you were a child? Because you've always had a mind of your own. Today, women are respected for having a mind of their own. At that point, people were actually judged, shamed, ridiculed, and also outcasted.
Well, honestly, when I started off, yes, if a woman wanted to interject or put in her opinion up front there for anything, any discussion, it was not looked upon well. You had to be a pretty face and keep quiet. But that is not how I was brought up. I was brought up very equally by my parents, my brother and I. Whatever my brother did, I was allowed to do. And so there was never any differentiation. I believe that I had a lucky upbringing that, you know, my parents thought of us as equal. And till date, so my dad never differentiated, oh, my son or my daughter. It was always my children, and they are both equally important. I've learned a lot from my dad. I mean, I think I remember when I was probably the only girl who used to come to college in my FIJC in an open jeep, which was unheard of in those days in Juhu. And yeah, we used to come and hang out in car also with a lot of our friends from nationals and all these other colleges in and around. So it was something that was little unheard of. But nonetheless, like I said, if my dad didn't mind and if my mother didn't mind, and my dad taught me driving on that Jeep, and whether it was changing tires or, you know, kind of checking your, in those days we had radiators and stuff in the Fiat Gadi, etc., which you all probably don't know now, you all know only automatic gears. But we had all that, and if my dad said, if you want to know how to drive a car, you have to know how the car functions as well, because it's very important. So it was never that differentiation. But nonetheless, you'll be shocked actually. In those days, the most scandalous headlines in the magazines, that means the magazine would sell more. Yeah. And you'll be surprised, a lot of body shaming and politically incorrect answers that would, captions that would be given to us. But those used to come actually from women editors, which was even more shocking. Yeah. You know, that a woman would probably want to shame or, you know, another woman, and that was, which was more something that was unescapable.
But when we talk about women, the most magical woman in your life, and we have a sweet surprise. Can we just have it?
Hi, Raveena. I'm proud of all your achievements and also proud of who you are as a person. Lots of love and kisses, and continue being who you are. Love, Mom.
So cute.
I've been told that she doesn't usually do this, but
No, she doesn't.
but I want to thank her for doing this, and I know you're getting emotional, but
it's okay.
she's lovely. She's
Yeah.
also shaped you in a way, and thank you, Rima, for arranging everything for me. I love you a lot, and I have to give that vote of thanks, because it was only possible because we could get it through you. Thank you so much. Now, thank you guys. Can we clap for Veena ma'am? Now we'll move on to the next memory after your first film, your family, and let's see. This is something that I think all of us love. लो जी सनम हम आ गए आज फिर दिल लेके. Tell us, what were the mad memories of this movie? When this movie released, apparently it didn't work for quite some time, and then it went mad and mad and mad, and today it's considered a cult classic to the extent that every year there are rumors that you are
It's going to
coming
be
back.
remade. But this movie was a lot of fun. I mean, there are many scenes, if you actually see carefully, that we are laughing while doing the scenes. There's so many times we couldn't stop our laughter. And in fact, I'll tell you a very interesting episode during this scene. During this scene, actually, all of them played a prank on Karisma and me, because Karisma and me must have squabbled over something really stupid. Both of us were young. We were like 17, 18 or something during this movie. And we used to squabble over small things. So we must have squabbled or something. And they tied us up on the pillar, Raji and Aamir and Salman. And Lolo and me weren't talking to each other here. And then they shot the scene. And then Raji said, "Chalo, lunch break, everybody go for lunch." We said, "But hello, open us up." They said, "No, we won't open you all up till you all don't end up talking to each other." And they left us there, and we had no choice except to be tied on that pillar and say, "Okay, cool, you want to have lunch? Yeah, you want to have lunch? Okay, what have you got in your dabba? And what have you got in your dabba?" And that's it. That was the end of our little squabble.
Oh my
so
God.
This really happened.
ये जान के हमने पिक्चर नहीं डाला था, but अभी पता चल गया. And how many of you guys have watched this movie, loved it? I think it's iconic, to say the least, because I think whenever I feel upset, I go back and watch this film. Who do you think should play all the 4 characters if it's made today? Or should it be with all 4 of you again? What do you think? Salman Khan, Aamir Khan, Raveena Tandon and Karisma Kapoor coming together with Crime Master, Gogo and Paresh ji. I think, and Robert and Badra, of course.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. But I think once classics are made, they should remain untouched.
Talking about classics then, there are classic songs of yours. I want to know, how easy or difficult was it for you to shoot this in that sari? Tip Tip Barsa Paani is possibly one of the most loved songs. And आपके गानों का जब भी remake होता है, लोग हमेशा comparison आप ही से करते हैं. So before the picture plays, I want to ask you that whenever so many of your songs actually have been remade, and which we have also spoken about, I want to know, when it happens, what is your first reaction whenever you get to hear it?
I think जो remixes होते हैं वो बहुत मज़ा ही आता है, and I think it makes you more relevant with this generation, क्योंकि काफ़ी गाने तो चलते रहते हैं. अभी पिक्चरें इन लोग शायद इतनी नहीं देखते, क्योंकि इनका जनरेशन ही अलग है. तो गाने हैं, आई थिंक, जो हर एक आर्टिस्ट को एक अलग सा एक एक्स्ट्रा जीवन दे देती हैं. तो आज इन लोग भी बाहर जाते हैं, शादियां होती हैं, वेडिंग्स होते हैं, जो भी होते हैं, इन लोग सब डांस करते हैं उन गानों पे. दे गो टू द नाइट क्लब्स, एंड हाउ एवर एंड वेर एवर वी गो, इफ यू ऑल हैव नोटिस, द मिनट Hindi movie songs or our desi songs start playing, everyone comes on the dance floor, right? तुम वो टेलर स्विफ्ट और हरियाणा पे थोड़ा थोड़ा ऐसे कर लोगे, लेकिन जहाँ हमारे देसी गाने आते हैं, everyone is on the dance floor, and that is something you can't miss, which is our desi music. So that is pumping, and I'm so happy for remixes, because they're giving a new life to all these classics, these songs.
This classic, I think it's...
Tip Tip.
I have to send you one video after this, because it's too scandalous for me to send it. मैं चद्दर पहन के मैं इधर उधर जो लोग भागे हैं घर पे कोविड के टाइम. I'll send it to you. But tell me, how difficult or easy was it for you to shoot this? When you were shooting this, both of you, did you ever realize that this will become so iconic?
Honestly, जब हम लोग ने ये फिल्म की थी मोहरा, तो तू चीज़ बड़ी है मस्त मस्त became a bigger hit than Tip Tip Barsa Paani. लेकिन as time passed, I think इसका potential और एक उठ के आया, and ये गाना बहुत ही popular हो गया. So I think it was it was amazing that this song picked up now, and in today's day and age, this is a bigger hit probably than a Tu Cheez Badi Mast Mast, where Tu Cheez Badi Mast Mast was a bigger hit then. So well, at that time we didn't realize that it will become such a big hit. But yes, that does not leave you from working hard on anything. You work hard on everything, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, no problem, we'll work hard, and for the next.
Did you even realize that this yellow saree is gonna become iconic? From what I know, that you had fever and you were shooting in the rain and you were not well, but you still shot for like 7 days back to back?
5 days,
5
yeah.
days.
But I guess what happens is that when we are shooting, particularly for these rain songs, they don't give you geyser ka heated pani. You get that tanker ka thanda pani. It's like really freezing cold, and if you notice in this song, we are shooting on in a construction site. So I was wearing a sari, so I couldn't wear knee pads, or I didn't even wear heels because there were stones and those kilas and all on the floor. And so if you notice my entry in this, I'm kind of sliding in on my knees and stuff. So I had like bleeding knees and bleeding ankles, and I had to take a tetanus shot because I got one of those rusted nails in my foot. So it's all what beautiful and glamorous, and you think, oh my God, these guys must have had a blast. No, we did not. Okay, there was nothing happening there. It was just absolutely pain and bruised, and just the face was like that, happy. And on the second day, after getting that cold shocks of cold water every time and that shower would start, the next day I got fever, and then the rest of the 3 days I kind of worked in fever. So, but that usually happens with a lot of us when we have to shoot in these conditions.
Another thing that I want to tell you is that I'm a huge fan of Shah Rukh Khan. And the next picture is this one. But not many people know that you've actually not done 1 but 3 films, out of which 2 are unfinished. One was unfinished, and then they shot with body doubles, if I'm not wrong, and released it 10 years later. And then I have heard the songs of a film called Jaadu. And the songs are beautiful, but it never got made. What were the moments behind that? Like, कौन सी मतलब किसकी movie थी और क्यों नहीं हुई वो movies? Because we've missed this pair so much.
So unfortunately, Jaadu had amazing music, and but the director passed away, so the film shut down. And then he and I had even signed English Babu Desi Mem, but somehow I didn't agree to the costumes in that film, so it didn't work out for me. I always did things that I was very, very comfortable with. But I really missed out on doing many more films with Shah Rukh, and I would love to do some more work with him if something comes where we are together again, sharing the same screen space. But he's one of the warmest and one of the most fun people I've worked with. Honestly, yeah.
And what about the film that got shot after 10 years? Did you even know that it's gonna get released?
No, we didn't know anything about it.
Lamhe Judai ke that.
No, we didn't know anything about it.
Okay, the next picture is from one of your recent films, which people have loved you in. And I think it's a mega blockbuster, and you know which one we are talking about. In the first part of KGF, we just see a glimpse. But in the second part, log bolte hai कि पहले से होनी चाहिए. You come in the second half, and woohoo! You stand tall. You stand tall against Rocky Bhai. Okay? And now in part 3, from what we know, you guys are gonna come together, if I am not mistaken. So, are there discussions already? What was
you've decided the story and made up part 3 already, na? KGF 3 हो गया है तुम्हारे mind में तो KGF 3 हो गया है.
It's the brain and the might coming together.
But see, सब कुछ तुम KGF 2 में देख लोगे तो KGF 3 में क्या देखोगे? So, nonetheless, I think it was a damn exciting project to work on, and I enjoyed the entire power play of Ramika Sen, and I enjoyed the characterization also. It was good, the dialogues were damdar, and I enjoyed every bit of it.
How was it working with Yash? Because, you guys were pitted against each other, and we often don't see filmmakers taking that risk where they are pitting a really fierce male against a strong female character, and that happened in KGF 2.
So the director who now recently just made Salar, I don't know how many of you all went and saw Salar. It was again another fantastic movie. And Prashant Neel. So Prashant, I feel as a director, is very progressive, very forward thinking, and again, he's not the kind who thinks, oh, because you're a female actor, you cannot pull it off. He believes in the power of women. And that is something that I really appreciate about him. I think he's just brilliant and fantastic. And somewhere along the line, he made me believe that yes, Ramika Sen is a character that will eat everyone up alive, out there.
It's true.
And it was his vision, and I'm happy that even if I reached 1/10 or, probably, I don't know what point of his vision, it kind of played out well for all of us.
Yeah, I must tell you this, that I've told you this after the release, but keeping my biases aside, I don't think anybody could spell power with those eyes and those looks and those dialogues. I think we needed someone like you to stand tall against a character like Rocky Bhai. Because he was the...
Thank you.
Because he was the brawn, but it was brain going against brawn, and I love it. Can we have a round of applause for her?
They did. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Because of that, we have planned something sweet for you. There's another surprise voice note from somebody who loves you a lot. And again, thank you. You know.
मुझे ऐसे लग रहा है मैं वो शो कर रही हूँ जीना ऐसी का नाम है ना पूरी मेरी लाइफ
Can I tell you this? Can you guys please manifest it for me?
लेकिन तुम फारूक शेख नहीं लगते हो किसी भी एंगल से
नहीं वो तो मैं तो
तुम इतने
फारूक शेख
sweet
तो I can't
से,
be also.
मीठे से
But
oh
Hey Raveena, when I was asked to say a few words about you and I didn't know where to start and how to sum up our love, friendship and sisterhood in a few words. Raveena and me go back around 15 years. We met at Otters Club and we really hit off well from there. Our friendship grew from then on. All I would like to say is that Raveena is a tough, solid, caring and a beautiful soul. Very honest, very straightforward, and I'm so proud that from the age of 16 she has worked so hard and achieved so much. She is a hands-on mom, a perfectionist at work, a nature and jungle lover, and has tremendous love for animals. She has been with me during my tough times of turmoil, holding my hand and pulling me out of my deep, dark moods. I love you, Raveena. Keep shining always.
that's your best friend.
yes that is Monica, my friend. Yes,
You know, you're acting with so many of your contemporaries now again, you know, in Welcome. You have Akshay Kumar, you have Sanjay Dutt, and I hope and I manifest.
Sunil,
and
and
Suniel
Paresh,
Shetty,
and,
and everybody. How
everybody,
is it maddening there? Have you started shoot? What is the whole plan there?
yeah they've started shooting, but I still have to start my shoot in now in March, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, move
So,
on.
And finally, ho gaya. So now we are gonna give you a gift, okay? Before we wrap this,
So I get a hamper also.
you will get more than a hamper because hamper में जो होता है वो आपके पास already है.
So so Nayandeep is beating Kejo also now. है ना? Fully. I want to see what the hamper is.
It is not a hamper.
Oh my god, this looks even better.
It is something that is customized for you. This is for you.
I see the resemblance.
This
Wow,
is your
it's so cute.
this is
Thank
your
you.
Mohara look, basically.
Yeah.
My friend Prasad Bhatt, who's
Dilwale.
Dilwale, yes. My friend actually, Prasad Bhatt, who's a graphic artist, when I told him that we are coming for your shoot, so he designed it, and I wanted to gift you something special, something
is.
that you don't have, and
It is.
I know
Please
that.
thank him also.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And I want to thank you for, we'll keep this. I want to thank you for joining us. जो भी गलतियाँ हुई है उसके लिए sorry. And thank you for being such an incredible audience.
I really personally want to thank all of you for being here and making this so special for me, because believe me, every artist actually thrives and survives and lives off your love. So it's so important, those cheers and those claps and those lovely, beautiful smiles, that when we look at you, you give us, it really, really makes a difference. So thank you so much for all your love for all these years. And I hope I live up to your expectations and continue to do so. So thank you guys. Have a great day ahead. I love you all. And you guys up there as well. Thank you so much, and God bless to all of you. Have a great, bright future. Okay? And just go kick ass. Come on.
Hola! Your dream vacation to Turkey starts from rupees 79,999 only with GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand.